This is an LTD Alexi-200. This is a guitar I've had for a couple of years, and bear with me, I am running laundry downstairs right now. You may hear a little bit of that. I have never been very much of a Floyd Rose guy. However, I picked this guitar up because I am a huge Dimebag fan. And it was cheap, and it had a Floyd Rose, and I could learn some of those techniques. It has an ESP EMG passive pickup that I don't care for. I don't like EMGs. I don't like active pickups. But this also just doesn't have enough oomph for me. So I'm really not sure what they were going for with that one. But I was playing this guitar for maybe 20-30 minutes before just doing endless Dimebag squeals. Popped this string clean out of the bridge and is now covered in a cobweb because I have not played this guitar since. It also broke this string right in half at about the 19th fret. Another cool thing about this guitar is it is a 24 fret. It has cool binding all the way around the neck, has these sawtooth inlays. It's an LTD. Mine has a weird finish issue where it looks like they didn't use any filler primer, or like this whole from here to here it's got like ripples, and I don't understand the ripples. So regardless of that, the reason I have not played this guitar since I popped two strings off of it are because I don't know what I'm doing with the Floyd Rose. However, I recently watched a couple of videos from Ola where he was restringing a couple of his dime guitars, and it doesn't really look super complicated. So let me prepare my tools. I have a set of Allen wrenches. It looks like all I really need to do a string change on it is the 3mm, which I have right there, just out of my line of sight. I will take off the strings, kind of clean up the whole guitar while I'm at it. So I'm going to need to block off the trem, which I can do with AA battery. So what you do, you swing the trem arm around, all the way down, or maybe not. I may have just made this way more work than it needed to be. These are super old Dollar General batteries. Damn it. Give me a second. Let's undo that. Could have swore I had a 9-volt over here, but apparently not. This might do it. Classic pink eraser. I need a little bit more shim room, but that'll be close. Take the neck plate from my Kramer. Jam that in there. That's way better. Okay, so I'm gonna take that 3mm Allen wrench. We're just gonna undo these bad boys up here because the Floyd Rose is what they call a double locking guitar system. So these just unbolt. Not a super fancy idea with these guys. I wasn't even really looking for a guitar when I got this one. It just so happened that I saw it on Marketplace and I was like, you know what, I'd finally like to try a Floyd Rose. And when I had that thought, I looked at the guy selling it, and it actually happened to be a guy who I had played alongside a couple summers previously, opening for a friend's band. When I say alongside, I opened as an acoustic solo gig, and then his band, Visceral Instinct, played right before, I think it was a band called Quiet Kind. And then the main event, who was releasing their EP and having a party for it, was called Unbroken. And they're still around, they're still making music, so do with that information what you will. So yeah, here's the issue. There's a lot of stuff just I don't like about the Floyd Rose, and we're going to kind of remedy that. So, in order to put strings on a Floyd Rose, you actually clip off the end of the string, and you feed it into here, and you clamp it in place. And there's another set of like Allen key parts down here, and that's kind of almost still quite not quite enough blocking off in the back. I don't want to do that because I'm not gonna screw up a set of strings by accident by clipping it too short. So there's another way to do it that I've seen done multiple times and I don't see a problem with, where you string the ball end of the string through the tuning key. So that's the way I'm going to go about it, but not before cleaning this guitar up. Like I said, this guitar is one that I have not taken off the shelf literally in years, which is why I'm also getting rid of it as soon as I'm done with this. I really don't see a point in keeping a guitar that I don't miss playing. So let's be sensible gearheads and not hoard things. Okay, having disposed of the old strings, it's time to get my lemon oil on. If you haven't seen my video where I restring and work on my second ever guitar that was given to me, I'm going to kind of recap. There is no lemon in lemon oil. It's just lemon scented. It is not dangerous to the fretboard wood. These are dried out. That's just the nature of those Armor All cans. I still don't have guitar polish, so. Okay, so I'm going to tighten those up because they're all loose except for like two. Of course, the Alexi-200 is the signature guitar for Alexi-Laiho of Laiho, one of those four of Children of Bodom, who he's dead now. So yeah, tragic as that is, you know, his guitars were cool, his music was cool. Yeah, go check them out. Very interesting guitar work. Okay, that being done, these, which I think is, my first guess is always 10 mil because I also work on cars, but I feel like these are bigger. They're not a 12 mil though. Oh, would you look at that? It's 10 mil. Okay, next, the Dario. My favorite strings, pretty much the strings I've used since I started playing. They were the first set of strings recommended to me, and I've really never jived with anything else after that. I'm only a little bit annoyed that these NYXLs don't seem to come with a sticker anymore, because I actually really enjoyed the sticker. So the Dario kind of pairs their strings in twos in the package. So you get your E and your A together, you get your D and your G together, you get your B and your E together, which is fine. It's just mildly annoying sometimes. But they all have a different colored ball end, which tells you which one's which. Whereas other brands like Ernie Ball, they actually package theirs individually inside the larger package. This is what Ola says he does. He says he'll pick his up like that and give it a little extra. No turning back! So this just goes right down in there. You clamp it as hard as you can. Without stripping anything. That's the most important part. I probably could have clipped even more off of that. We're just gonna tune her up, boys. Okay, so that slippage was around this. It didn't slip out of the bridge. Crisis averted. I always like to stretch my strings kind of a lot. And I've backed these pretty far out, these fine tuners. Definitely not all the way, but pretty far, so that you can continue to tune them later. So I don't anticipate much of needing to loosen the strings once you've got them up to pitch. So we're going to go ahead and just repeat this process 6 times. My camera battery's a little bit low, so I'm going to go ahead and put that back in the charger since I've only got the one battery. And once I'm done repeating this process 5 more times, we'll be back with you. So I've got the guitar back together, strings on. I went ahead and stretched them by doing some, dime bag stuff. Retuned it a couple times. Of course, every time I did that, it stretched the strings out a little more, so I tuned it up using the fine tuners there. So I'm backing them all the way out, backing them almost all the way out, assuming that I wouldn't have to tune down much with it, was actually a pretty fair assessment. So that checked out. But so I've got this guitar, and I've got a Jackson Randy Rhoads guitar that I put together out of a couple of parts that I bought online. There's things that I prefer about each of them. I feel like this one's a little bit heavier than the Jackson. I could be wrong. This does have a whole extra cavity cut out of it for the Floyd, so this one could be lighter. But for whatever reason, I always feel like the Jackson's lighter, and it could be basswood or something. I don't know. I don't know what this is made out of either. It's not like a heavy guitar, but I don't know. Things I prefer about this though are the construction. For one, it's got a cutaway for your palm there to make it a little easier to reach the higher frets. Also on the Jackson, I've actually got the Jackson right here. This cutaway is higher. It matches the one on the opposite side here. So I guess it's a horse apiece because it's so skinny anyway that you can reach around it if you need to. But this is a little nicer. Also, this one has a Strat style tummy cut. One thing I don't like about this guitar though, I mean, I love the use of the Strat style boat jack, but I would put it before the strap button so you can wrap your cord around it still. That's what I would have done. Because I like to wrap my cord around the strap button. This pickup, I already mentioned I don't like it. It's like it doesn't have any power. I'm not an EMG guy because EMGs use batteries, and this is a passive EMG, and I don't like it. But here's the Jackson. So you'll notice a lot of similarities, but you'll also notice a lot of differences. This one's super simple, just a volume knob, no push-pull or anything, no switching on it. This one, no push-pull either. Little fancier knob I got from Iron Age. A nice switch, because it's got 2 pickups, and a kill switch, which is super cool. This is a fixed bridge. It doesn't have the Strat tummy cut. It doesn't have the cutaway there. Another thing is this guitar has like a nice volute there on the back of right where the nut is, which strengthens that's the thinnest part of a guitar neck right there. To make that wider there is nice because that's where a lot of them break, and this one doesn't have that. They're both bolt-on. They're both 24 fret. I don't like these fret inlays. They're just goofy to me. They're just like these ugly sawtooth. This is a lot more like, what's the word for it? Sophisticated in my opinion. And it's got 2 on the 12th and the 24th also, it's just nice. It looks really good. This finish I did on the back of this neck here, I don't like it. I think it's just an oil-based polyurethane I sponged on there and had a hard time sanding it back off. However, the wood dye, there's parts of it where the wood dye didn't really want to adhere, and I'm not sure why. This was also years ago. Cool things about it though is it's got a little bit of a flame to the back of the neck there, so you can see that there's some black striping in with the red, which is cool. I like the idea of this finish. I don't like my execution on it, which is actually the main reason I don't want to sell this guitar, because I really wouldn't want someone else to have to deal with that. Although I suppose they could just swap the neck out if they really wanted. Also, this is a reverse headstock. This is a standard headstock. I need to quit bouncing that off my desk, dude. Yeah, so the headstock differences are palpable. The LTD is a little bit more actually V-shaped. This one kind of just like is cut off at the bottom, which both are cool, you know, they're just different. ESP also has a shape called the arrow. The arrow has a big round cutout right here, which is cool. But this is sort of Alexi's own shape, I guess. This is a made in China model. I think they made a couple models outside of China that were a little more expensive. It's a good guitar, but between the Floyd and some of just the other goofy stuff, I can't really get behind as well. I think this is the one I'm gonna get rid of. I also just bought this Ibanez, I think I've mentioned already, and I've got a car to fix. Currently I'm borrowing a car. You know, between all that, I've got to get rid of something just to help out with that, and I think this is that something I got to get rid of. I didn't understand how to work on a Floyd Rose guitar, and now I do. And that was the biggest reason I didn't think I was gonna miss it. So I'm a little bit torn. I was like, I don't know if I should feel bad or not. Something's leaving my collection in place of something coming in. So I don't get rid of guitars often, but this one's gonna have to go. That said, here's what it sounds like in a short mix. Hope you enjoyed the video. A little bit of story behind this, and I'll see you in the next one, where we talk about this guy a little more in depth. Peace.